The hug I'm gonna get today.
Can you hug our plant? I feel like they.
I can't. Oh, I want to slow dance with this
a soft hug.
Oh yeah.
A gentle
Very
hug.
nice.
So we had two pieces in the show for, well, the climb. I was going to say for vertical gardening, but we had a couple trees too.
Yeah.
But that climb, this is the second piece. This one is also fragrant. Final quantities of the season. We only received it just this week. And it's my pick of the show. $24.72 gets it home to you, as well as free shipping and handling. So talk to me about why this particular jasmine vine.
Well, they're so fragrant. They're so romantic, and they're in poetry. They use them around the royal palaces in India.
Oh.
And they climb like that. See, that's in the container. What I like about this one though is that it's not overwhelming. You can bring this in, put it in a window, a sunny window, and it will bloom all winter long. It's got great glossy foliage, and you can also float the blossoms in a small vase like this. Just a real handsome look, but it's an ideal gift because what we ship out to you looks like something. You know, some things you ship out, it looks like, okay, well, what is that? Because it's going to bloom later.
Right.
This has already got its tendrils coming up, so it's a great housewarming gift. And when people open it up, they can see that they've gotten something nice. And of course, the growing guide's there. It has a little trellis on it already. They use this fragrance in a lot of perfumes.
Yes, they do, definitely. Now, you mentioned bringing it inside for the winter. So does that mean if I live in a place that's very cold, I should keep it potted?
Correct. And if you live in a frost-free zone, though, they're out there all the time. I use them like out in Palm Beach. I design gardens down there, and in Miami areas, they'll grow out in the hot baking sun. And they're growing all the time in Southern California. They're beautiful, but a great house plant too. In fact, if you got it, I mean, you can put it outside and then bring it in, or you can just keep it inside the whole time.
And just put a little trellis like as you're showing us here.
Right, and you can buy yourself a little obelisk. You know, at garden stores, you know, they'll carry things like this because it'll outgrow this. What I'm shipping out to you is already this. It's got the trellis on it, but look, it's already outgrown the trellis as I'm shipping it to you. So it goes to town. You don't have to worry about training it. It wraps. It trains itself. And that's what I like, something that's going to train itself. I ain't got time to be training stuff.
And when I get this home, what do I do? So I get it in a little pot like this. I should change it to another pot?
You can keep it in that pot for probably 2 months. If you just don't feel like putting it in a larger pot, I would move it up. When I move it up, I move it up into like an 8-inch diameter pot. Then next season I might move it into a 10-inch, and then just leave it in that one. Don't make it the pot so big that it becomes where you can't manage it. And I also like to use the lightweight pots because they're easier to move around. And then also you've got a synthetic saucer, so if you've got a terracotta saucer, it'll leave rings wherever you've placed it on a table or anything like that. So think about things like that too.
So for this one, $24.72 gets it home to you. We are at our final quantities of the season for something that we just received this week. And is this something, oh, actually don't forget it's very fragrant, of course, being jasmine, but is this something that's good for beginners?
It's a great beginner, yeah, and also for children.
Oh.
Yeah, and like that also if you want to give something to your child's teacher. You know, they love something like this because it's fragrant, it's beautiful, it's easy to grow, you don't have to train it, easy to take care of. And I love something like this, and if you like gardenias, it's got that same type of heady fragrance. That's what the individual flower looks like. They're smaller flowers than gardenias, but as you can see in the next image, there are more of them. It's absolutely covered. It's like, you know, when snow first starts to dot the ground before it's completely covered, that's what it looks like. And this is blooming all season long. It's nonstop. The leaves on it are quite glossy. Again, a great gift plant, but also if you wanted to have them in pairs, you can do them on either end of your patio garden. And if you've got a small garden area, walled garden, it's nice to have the fragrance out there. And maybe you have it sitting on a table in the pot where you sit and you have your coffee. Put it close to you where you really, really can enjoy it. Right.
And so with this, how often should I fertilize it? I get it home, I could keep it in my pot for 2 months, get bigger pots once it starts growing. Every 3 weeks I fertilize. Okay. And what kind of, how much water does it like? Does it like dry soil, wet soil?
I keep it evenly moist.
Okay.
And that's all you need to do. And pick up our general bud and flower booster. That's all you need to worry about. And if you're only picking up one fertilizer today, That's the one you can use on your houseplants and on anything else. It's great for everything. Some things are a little bit more specific, but they still appreciate getting that one.
Right, and that one, by the way, it's 100 packets, $46, and oh, here it is, $46.75.
Yeah.
And each packet makes a gallon there of that fertilizer.
Right.
So with these, how long is that bloom season again?
All season.
All season. So what does that mean?
Well, it just doesn't stop.
Oh.
I mean, you know,
literally all season.
It's like the people who work at QVC. We just don't stop, or we're out the door. So this is going to keep on going. It absolutely is a true showman, and when it comes out and you have encore after encore after encore, it's like the concert that never ends. Music and fragrance for your garden.
And then in the winter,
you bring it in the wintertime, put it in a sunny window, and what I do with mine is every couple of weeks I completely turn it around so it keeps even growth, because the light's only coming from one side.
Right, that's true.
But if you've got say a garden room, an atrium room, you put it right in the middle of the atrium room all winter long. You've got your like a Florida room.
Yeah.
You've got that fragrance going all the time. But again, an ideal gift, the most romantic and the most fragrant thing that we have in the show today. And I always like to have a little bit of romance. You know, I live by myself. I didn't get any flowers yesterday. I got no boxes of candy except the one that I bought at the grocery store for myself, by the way. You have to bring things in. Be good to yourself. Be nice to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like your idea too with this particular set of getting two. If we want to keep them, you know, outdoors and then bring them in for the winter, you get two to keep on the patio or to keep at the entrance or something like that.
To your mother or your best friend.
Well, Mother's Day is coming up.
And then you're on the phone though. And my mom's got a lot of the same plants tonight. My mom's 90, and she is in assisted living. She's got a balcony, and we talked. She said, oh, such and such is blooming. And I had that. I made it a point that we've got the same plants to talk about, because it gives us a whole nother dialogue.
Right. Right, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. So $24.72 to get home this fragrant flower that also climbs. So put it on a trellis, put a little auger, and 57271 is your item number. Final quantities of the season and just brand new this week. Now let's remind you for a moment of our shipment weeks with these plants.
And no worries, we're going to take care of you from top to bottom. Take a look at our zone.